Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to our channel Mysterious Untold Books. Introduction. Life presents us with countless opportunities to rise above our circumstances and become the heroes of our own stories. Yet many of us remain trapped in patterns of mediocrity, held back by fear, self-doubt, and the comfort of familiarity. We sense a greater potential within us, a voice calling us to live with more courage, purpose, and impact, but we hesitate to answer that call. What if the greatest obstacle to your extraordinary life isn't external circumstances, but internal limitations you've accepted as truth? The journey to personal mastery begins when you recognize that within you lies dormant genius, untapped courage, and a capacity for meaningful contribution. This journey isn't reserved for the naturally gifted or privileged few. It's available to anyone willing to embrace daily practices that transform ordinary existence into extraordinary living. Through deliberate habits, mindset shifts, and consistent action, you can awaken the everyday hero within and create a life of significance that inspires others to do the same. Chapter 1. Master your inner world through daily practice. The foundation of personal mastery lies not in controlling external circumstances, but in mastering your inner world. This mastery begins with understanding that your thoughts, emotions, and daily habits shape your reality more powerfully than any outside force. Robin Sharma discovered this truth during a pivotal period in his early 30s. Despite achieving conventional success as a litigation lawyer, he felt empty and disconnected from his authentic self. Each morning, he would look in the bathroom mirror and dislike the person looking back at him. Success without self-respect had become an empty victory. This realization prompted him to embark on a journey of personal transformation that would eventually change not only his life but the lives of millions worldwide. For 3 years, Sharma committed to rising early while his family slept to experiment with practices that would reduce his weaknesses and align him with his personal destiny. He studied the lives of artistic geniuses, fearless warriors, prodigious scientists, business titans, and tireless humanitarian, learning about their central beliefs, dominant emotions, and daily routines. He attended personal growth conferences, invested in self-development courses, learned meditation, visualization, journaling, and contemplation. The process wasn't easy. It was often confusing, uncomfortable, and terrifying. Yet as he steadily did this inner work each morning while the world around him slept, his entire operating system began to transform. His fears diminished, his worries and self-sabotaging behaviors fell away, and his need to please others dissolved. He grew more loyal to his deepest values, healthier, more creative, cheerful, and peaceful. To begin your own journey of inner mastery, start with a morning practice that includes 4 key elements: mindset work to cultivate positive thoughts, heart-set work to process emotions healthily, health-set work to optimize physical well-being, and soul-set work to nurture spiritual connection. Even 20 minutes each morning can create profound shifts in your daily experience. Remember that this journey isn't about becoming someone else, but about remembering who you truly are beneath the armor of doubt and disbelief. The path to mastery requires patience and persistence, but the rewards, enhance creativity, productivity, and inner peace, make every effort worthwhile. Chapter 2. Transform challenges into stepping stones for growth. Life's difficulties aren't obstacles to your growth. They're essential catalysts for it. The most profound transformations often emerge from our most challenging experiences, provided we approach them with the right mindset. Consider the story of Niki Lauda, the Formula One racing champion who experienced a catastrophic accident on 1st August 1976. As Lauda made a turn at high speed during the German Grand Prix, he lost control and his Ferrari exploded into flames. Trapped in his car for 43 seconds at temperatures nearing 425 degrees Celsius, Lauda suffered horrific burns. One onlooker reported that it appeared as if his face was melting off his head. At the hospital, His condition was so grave that a priest was called to deliver last rites. In this moment of extreme crisis, Loda demonstrated extraordinary mental fortitude. He later explained, "When I came into the hospital, you feel like you are very tired and you would like to go to sleep. But you know it's not just sleeping. It's something else. And you just fight with your brain. You hear noises and you hear voices, and you just try to listen to what they are saying, and you try to keep your brain working to get the body ready to fight against illness." What happened next defied all expectations. Just 40 days after his accident, with bandages still covering his damaged scalp, Loda forced his racing helmet over his head and competed at the Italian Grand Prix. Spectators were astonished by his display of fortitude and competitive spirit. "While I can walk and drive, why lie in a clinic?" he said. "This is my world." He placed fourth that day and went on to become a successful aviation entrepreneur and businessman. To transform your own challenges into growth opportunities, start by shifting your perception. When difficulties arise, ask yourself, what is the situation trying to teach me? How can I use this experience to become stronger? Then, like Loda, take action quickly rather than allowing fear to paralyze you. The longer you wait to face your challenges, the more intimidating they become. Remember that resilience isn't an innate quality but a character trait forged through difficult conditions. Each time you face adversity with courage, you build the mental muscles needed for future challenges. As Nietzsche wrote, "What doesn't kill us makes us stronger." The ultimate lesson from Loda's story is that heroes aren't made during periods of stability but during days of discomfort. Your challenges aren't happening to you, they are happening for you, providing the perfect conditions for your growth and transformation. Chapter 3. Build unshakable character through consistent action. Character isn't formed through grand gestures or momentary inspiration but through small, consistent actions performed day after day. It's the accumulation of these seemingly insignificant choices that ultimately shapes who you become. Benjamin Franklin understood this principle deeply. In his autobiography, Franklin describes his bold and arduous project of arriving at moral perfection. He realized that knowing what was right wasn't enough. He needed a system to break weak habits by meticulously installing stronger ones. Franklin identified 13 virtues he believed essential for a great life: temperance, silence, order, resolution, frugality, industry, sincerity, justice, moderation, cleanliness, tranquility, chastity, and humility. To implement these virtues, Franklin created a simple but powerful tracking system. He designed a table with the days of the week across the top and the 13 virtues down the left side. Each evening before sleep, he'd reflect on his behavior during the day and mark any violations of the virtues he was working to embody. Franklin would focus on one virtue per week, completing a full course of the program in 13 weeks and 4 courses a year. What made Franklin's approach particularly effective was its progressive nature. He believed that mastering temperance, carefulness in food and drink, would give him more willpower to practice silence, avoiding trivial conversations. After a week concentrating on silence, he'd have more self-control to maximize order in his life, and so on. To build your own unshakable character, start by identifying the specific virtues or qualities you want to develop. Create a simple tracking system similar to Franklin's, where you can monitor your progress daily. Focus on one quality at a time until it becomes habitual before moving to the next. The key to success lies in consistency rather than intensity. Small daily improvements, sustained over time, lead to remarkable transformation. As Aristotle noted, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. Remember that character development isn't about achieving perfection but about continuous improvement. Franklin himself acknowledged that he fell short many times, writing, "I was surprised to find myself so much fuller of faults than I had imagined." Yet his systematic approach allowed him to make steady progress toward becoming the person he aspired to be. By focusing on consistent action rather than sporadic bursts of motivation, you build a foundation of character that remains solid even when circumstances change. This unshakable character becomes your greatest asset in navigating life's challenges and creating meaningful impact. Chapter 4. Create value through excellence and service. In today's world, true success comes not from taking but from giving, not from accumulating wealth but from creating genuine value for others. The most fulfilled and prosperous individuals understand that service isn't just a nice addition to success, it's the very foundation of it. This principle is beautifully illustrated in the story of a cafe manager who embodied exceptional service. She cared deeply about her customers, greeting everyone with cheerfulness and politeness, ensuring the goods offered were the best in the community, and that her employees were consistently friendly. Her favorite customer was an elderly woman in her 80s who had been a schoolteacher. Each morning, this woman would visit the cafe holding the hand of her elderly husband, ordering the same thing, 2 cups of coffee and 1 small pastry with the forks to share. One day, the manager noticed her favorite client was no longer visiting the cafe. Weeks later, she spotted the woman standing in line at a bank. The once impeccably dressed woman now appeared disheveled, confused, and frightened. When the manager inquired what was wrong, the woman explained that her husband had suffered a massive stroke and died. "I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know if I can make it," she confessed. The manager paused, then gently suggested, "Why don't you come back to the cafe and have a good cup of coffee? I know it'll make you feel better." "But who would I drink it with?" asked the woman, with a tremor in her voice. "I'll drink it with you," said the manager. "It would be my pleasure." Together, they walked back to the coffee shop, where the customer ordered her usual 2 cups of coffee, 1 pastry, and 2 forks. Through this simple act of kindness, the manager demonstrated the essence of true service, seeing another's need and responding with genuine care. To create value through excellence and service in your own life, start by identifying your unique strengths and how they can benefit others. Excellence doesn't mean perfection. It means bringing your best to whatever you do, whether that's preparing food, teaching students, writing code, or managing a team. Adopt what Sharma calls the 10x value obsession, ensuring that at every touch point with those you serve, you deliver 10 times more value than expected. This might mean going beyond your job description, adding thoughtful touches to your work, or simply being fully present when interacting with others. Remember Maya Angelou's wisdom. People may forget what you say and people may forget what you do, but no one will ever forget how you made them feel. By combining excellence with genuine service, you create value that transcends transactions and builds meaningful connections that last a lifetime. Chapter 5. Cultivate deep wisdom through lifelong learning. True wisdom isn't acquired through age alone but through intentional learning and reflection. The most impactful individuals understand that education isn't something that ends with formal schooling. It's a lifelong commitment to growth and understanding. Leonardo da Vinci exemplifies this principle perfectly. Far from being merely gifted, Leonardo's genius was largely the result of self-teaching, continuous daily improvements, and enormous degrees of discipline and training. He spent day after day obsessively studying subjects that would contribute to his advanced perception and skill optimization. In one of his notebooks, Leonardo recorded 730 understandings on the physics of water flow. Another page revealed 169 precise versions of trying to square a circle. He even compiled a list of 67 words to describe running water. His private notebooks were filled with studies of subjects ranging from the jaw of a crocodile to the placenta of a calf to the anatomy of a woodpecker's tongue. What made Leonardo extraordinary wasn't innate talent but 6 key habits that anyone can adopt. First, he wrote things down, understanding that what is written down is amplified within mental clarity. Second, he mined his natural curiosity, maintaining the childlike wonder that most adults lose. Third, he practiced ridiculous patience, sometimes sitting before canvas for long periods, making a single stroke, and then walking away for weeks. Fourth, Leonardo blended multiple disciplines, connecting dots across fields like aeronautics, engineering, art, and sculpture. Fifth, he took time off, recognizing that men of lofty genius sometimes accomplish the most when they work the least. Finally, he adored natural beauty, spending considerable time in nature to relax his mind and allow his greatest ingenuity to flow. To cultivate your own deep wisdom, start by creating a learning system. Keep various journals on subjects where you seek excellence to upgrade your ideation and record your rising knowledge. Make time for both focused study and open-ended exploration, allowing your curiosity to guide you toward unexpected insights. Practice what Sharma calls the 60-minute student regime, committing at least 1 hour each day to learning through reading books, listening to audiobooks, or taking courses that enrich your domain knowledge. Remember that education is inoculation against irrelevance, especially in times of rapid change. Balance your learning between depth and breadth. Go deep in your core areas of expertise while also exploring diverse subjects that can create unexpected connections. As Leonardo demonstrated, some of the most innovative insights come from the intersection of different disciplines. Finally, remember that wisdom isn't just about accumulating information but about transforming knowledge into understanding through reflection and application. As Leonardo himself wrote, "I love those who can smile in trouble, who can gather strength from distress and grow brave by reflection." Chapter 6. Lead with Authenticity and Moral Courage. In a world that often encourages conformity, true leadership requires the courage to remain authentic and to stand firmly for what you believe is right, even when it's unpopular or difficult. Sinead O'Connor demonstrated this principle powerfully during her appearance on Saturday Night Live on 3rd October, 1992. At the height of her fame after hits like "Nothing Compares to You," O'Connor made a decision that would dramatically alter her career trajectory. Rather than safely performing her planned song, she turned her appearance into a political statement against child mistreatment. After replacing the original words in Bob Marley's protest song, "War," with "child abuse," O'Connor, with fury on her face and a voice ragging with rebellion, lifted a photo of Pope John Paul II, screamed, "Fight the real enemy," and tore it in half. This was her indictment of the harm she alleged had been perpetrated on children by members of the clergy in her native Ireland. The immediate consequence was devastating to her career. Her fame collapsed, and public opinion turned sharply against her. Many years later, reflecting on this moment, O'Connor revealed her motivation. An artist's job is sometimes not to be popular. An artist's job sometimes is just to create conversation where conversation is needed. This story illustrates that authentic leadership often requires making difficult choices that may not be understood or appreciated in the moment. True moral courage isn't about winning popularity contests, but about staying true to your deepest values, even when doing so comes at a personal cost. To lead with authenticity and moral courage in your own life, start by clarifying your core values, the principles that are non-negotiable for you. Write these down and review them regularly, especially before making important decisions. Ask yourself, is this choice aligned with who I truly am and what I stand for? Practice what Sharma calls truth-telling, speaking your truth even when your voice is trembling and your hands are shaking. Remember that every mistruth stains your character, while each honest expression builds your integrity and self-respect. Develop the habit of making decisions based on long-term impact rather than short-term comfort. When faced with a difficult choice, ask, what would the most courageous version of myself do in the situation? Then act accordingly, even if it means standing alone. Remember that authentic leadership isn't about being perfect, but about being real, acknowledging your mistakes, learning from them, and continuing to grow. As you practice leading with authenticity and moral courage, you'll inspire others not through your flawlessness, but through your humanity and your unwavering commitment to what matters most. Chapter 7. Leave a legacy of positive impact. The true measure of a life well lived isn't found in accumulations or achievements, but in the positive difference you make in the lives of others. Creating a meaningful legacy isn't about monuments or recognition. It's about how your presence improves the world around you. This principle is beautifully illustrated through the story of Cora Greenaway, a fifth-grade history teacher who profoundly impacted Robin Sharma's life. When most teachers and principals had written him off as showing no promise and having minimal potential, Greenaway saw something different. She believed in him when few others did, which helped him believe in himself. Greenaway taught young Sharma that every human being is born with giftedness, special strengths, remarkable capacities, and dignified virtues. She explained that if he remembered this, worked hard, and stayed true to himself, good things would happen. This single conversation with an extraordinary person rerouted the trajectory of his life. Years later, Sharma discovered something remarkable about his former teacher. As a young woman, Greenaway had been part of the Dutch resistance during World War II, going behind enemy lines to rescue children facing extermination in Nazi death camps. She had risked her life to save young kids, just as she had metaphorically saved Sharma through her belief in his potential. Greenaway exemplified what Sharma calls an everyday hero, quiet and humble, mighty and vulnerable, ethical and influential, wise and loving. Through her actions, both dramatic and subtle, she improved civilization one good deed at a time. To create your own legacy of positive impact, focus first on being present with those around you. Practice what Sharma calls the People Builder's mantra, leaving everyone you meet better than you found them and feeling bigger than when they first met you. This might mean offering sincere encouragement, listening deeply, or simply treating others with extraordinary respect. Identify the unique ways your talents and experiences can serve others. Remember that impact doesn't require grand gestures. Sometimes the most meaningful contributions come through consistent small acts of kindness and excellence. As Mother Teresa wisely noted, we can do no great things, only small things with great love. Develop the habit of asking yourself each morning, how can I add value to someone's life today? Then look for opportunities to put this intention into action, whether through your work, your relationships, or chance encounters with strangers. Finally, remember that your legacy isn't something that begins after you're gone. It's being created in every moment through your choices and actions. As Sharma's father wrote to him, when you were born, you cried while the world rejoiced. Live your life in such a way that when you die, the world cries while you rejoice. Thank you for listening. Audiobook by Mysterious Untold Books.